Oh, crap. Hold on.
Oh boy.
Start over. Quit acting stupid. With
Bobby,
Jamie,
Rudy,
and
Andy.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Quit Acting Stupid. I'm your host, Jamie Freitas, and joining me as always are my brothers, Bobby, Rudy, and Andy. Say hello.
How's it going, folks?
All right.
I that's like one of my favorite things now. Like the terrible starts we have, and like the fact that Andrew was like, start over. I'm like, dude,
No.
do you not know Jamie? He's not starting over. Let's
No,
just roll.
I want to just make it as bad as possible then. If it's going to be a
Right.
train wreck, it needs to be awful.
Well, and as I'm hiding behind the logo, I'm thinking,
Which you weren't hiding, by the way. You
Yeah.
know that.
Right.
it was switched because I'm like this, and I'm like, I'm probably not even. Hold on. How did we change that back?
He didn't even have his mic
Yeah.
plugged in.
That's
How
how
did we change-
unready he was.
Right,
Mirror my camera, right?
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
There. Now, like, so let's say the logo. Hold on. Let me just see something real quick.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, let's test.
So now, am I hiding?
Yes, we're all hiding.
I'm gonna go
Okay,
get a
let's
drink.
see.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I was getting my water ready too, and I'm like, I got beers in the fridge. I might just grab one of those. I don't know. It's been a night, to say the least.
been a night?
But,
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
What did you have going on, brother? I hear you cut some grass today, or where you went to a movie? You had an action-packed night.
I have been on the go since I woke up this morning. In fact, Manny woke up here. I got off early last night. I got off at like 1:30 in the morning. So I thought, ooh, maybe I can get some shows in. And then I start Last of Us. I don't know if you guys
Did
have
you
watched
sleep?
that.
Yeah.
I don't even think I got through the credits, but episode 1 of season 2 started, and I'm like, all right, I got my shower taken, and I even thought maybe I'll get some snacks, but it's 1:30 in the morning, so I'm like, no, skip the snacks. But I'm like,
Oh.
all right, here we go, and like gone immediately.
I went to a movie tonight, and Alicia pulled a Teresa Paredes 5 minutes in. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Tell me the
I
mouth
went
was
to-
open, right? Ugh.
Oh yeah.
I went to
Yeah.
a movie tonight too. What did you go see?
I saw the King of Kings. Is that King of Kings? Yeah,
That's the
that
Jesus cartoon.
That kid movie. It's very excellent, I must say. It's good stuff.
Was it better? Was it
Passion
better
of the Christ
than,
for kids.
Is that what it was? Please tell me they nailed him to the cross.
They did. They
cart-
took a whack at him, but they kind of covered it up like a little bit, and they only did one. And it was pretty good.
Really?
Pretty good stuff. Pretty tame as far as that goes.
So Pontius Pilate was represented and everybody.
Yeah, everybody, all the
Barabbas.
characters. Got the whole gang back together again.
So is this the Jesus Christ universe? Like we're gonna start having spin-offs and stuff like that. Did he say Eloe laba sabachthani?
He actually did. Yes. That was the only time he spoke. Not what language is that? Non-English. Arabic. Was it? Okay, yeah.
So
the
he
only
spoke English the whole
non-English.
time.
Yeah, and that was my only complaint, is that basically all, like, for the most part, all the other characters were flawed. They had, whether it was big noses, or like one apostle was fat, another one was balding, but Jesus, him with his square jaw and his
Gorgeous.
Blue eyes.
his 45-degree angle nose.
Right.
Yeah, very, very European. I mean, he was,
But the rest of them sounded like what's Fat Albert's group? What's his the gang? What's his gang called? Fat Albert and
The Cosby Kids.
From a junkyard or something.
the junk, with the Abagoba to the Stoba, the guy with the mask on,
I
and
don't think you could say that. Is that
Mushmouth?
Yeah. Did they have a name? Did they have
Wasn't
a
it
name?
called Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids?
No.
Were they the
no.
Cosby Kids?
No.
No way. Like, that couldn't be more wrong.
I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find this right now. But I remember Saturday Night Live did a sketch where it was back in the late '90s when Behind the Music was big. They did like a Behind the Music on Fat Albert and the whatever they're called.
Right.
It was really good.
But it sounds like the apostles were kind of made in that light. Like everybody
Yeah.
had to have a unique. That's interesting.
Yeah. No, it was good stuff, man. It was.
Hold on. I want you to see this. Can you
I think
guys
I'm
see
gonna.
I see a Google
Fat Albert and the
search
Junkyard
bar
Band.
with all your
The
porn.
Junkyard
Hold
what?
on. Fat Albert,
Junkyard Band.
Junkyard Band.
The
What are
Adventures of Fat
searches?
Albert and the Cosby Kids. I told you I wasn't making this up.
I'm more interested in your search history here. What have you
Is
been
that-
Fat Albert.
asking Google?
It's all Fat Albert.
Fat
Well,
chicks.
if you go to the Fat Albert wiki,
Oh.
that's the Junkyard Band.
So they played instruments. I was thinking, yeah, wow.
How did we get on Fat Albert?
The apostles. Rudy was likening the apostles
Yeah.
to Fat Albert's Junkyard, whatever. they're
Compare
called.
and contrast.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but it was a good time. It was a good time.
I-
Alicia, like I said, crashed immediately, and we destroyed some popcorn. Because yes, I did get my kids popcorn.
Did you go to
Thank
B&B? Because it's Tuesday, so I'm sure you went to B&B.
Yes, so I got
Okay.
the all-you-can-eat popcorn for $5 or $6, whatever it was, and we got there so early, we just like destroyed almost the whole bag. And then I went and like, as the previews are still going on, I went and refilled again. And then of course Avery's like, I'm thirsty. I was like, sorry, hon, there's no specials on drinks today. He's like, go find a water fountain. And of course they didn't have one. What? Anyway.
Water fountains? What is this? Is this in school? A water fountain? Go find a water fountain. That's insane. Because we went to the movies. It's Tuesday. It's cheap. And we got
drink or spit.
You
drink
can't
your
not. You can't not get the popcorn for $5 or $6 or whatever.
Right, because I look like a hero.
But I didn't want. Yeah, I didn't. I'm trying to cut soda out again. But so we ask for. Can we just get a water cup? And they hand you these little. Like, no, I'm a grown man. I need more than that. Like, just because I want water, am I lesser? Do I want lesser water? Like, no, I want a big thing of water. Although I went to the Blue B&B up here by my house, the North Lane B&B. And
yeah, that's where I was.
I didn't go tonight, but in the past I've gone to that one, and I'll take my own water bottle, and they didn't say anything. They let me walk in with it. So.
I'll do you one better.
They're just happy you showed up because there's never anybody there. It's
No,
easy in and out.
I don't go on Tuesdays, but when I go on the weekends, I love B&B. Love their popcorn. We've got one here in Shawnee. But I love B&B because they sell alcohol there. And
you're a booze hound?
AMC does too.
You can't do anything without alcohol?
But I don't even buy their alcohol. Anita and I sneak our own alcohol in.
Because of course you do.
We get ourselves some high noons.
You guys are always
Jamie, you cannot
me.
take the high road.
You guys are always bagging on me, and you guys are just as bad.
Yeah, we sneak our alcohol in. We've been known to do that.
Huh. Okay. Well, what'd you see tonight, Rudy?
I saw a movie called Drop, where the girl goes on a first date with this guy, and then, somebody's texting her like to do stuff, or else I'm going to kill your kid kind of thing at home, and it's very suspenseful. You've seen the preview. Well, you probably have.
Life.
Yeah, like bad guys trying to get her to do his dirty work, and if you don't, I'm going to kill your kid and your sister at home.
Okay.
And she's on it set around her first date with this guy, and
I hate when that happens.
very, very suspenseful.
She's gonna have the all-time greatest first date story to share with her friends.
Yeah, 100%. But it was pretty good. But I went to refill. So the important part is the popcorn. So I went to refill the popcorn at the end because you get to the bottom of the bag and it's just kernels and crap. So I thought, all right, I'm going to refill this to take home. And there were no concession people behind so I couldn't refill it. I was kind of upset about that. Like,
just hop behind the counter yourself.
I should have, yeah. Because they had some pre-bags made, because when fatties
Yeah.
like me after the movie, hey, can you refill this? And they'll just give me a new one. Like, here
This
you go.
guy.
Get out of here.
This
Get outta
kid
here.
that was doing the popcorn at our B&B, I almost said Airbnb, at our B&B, he was like Tom Cruise in Cocktail, like flipping the, like getting all the.
Oh, yeah.
I think you've talked about him before, actually.
He's
on
an
this
artist.
show.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy,
Yeah.
they take their job seriously. They really, get that and they shake it up and move all around. And
But when you think about it, yeah, I mean, if you're just going to fill the bucket, I'm just going to put butter on the top.
See, we didn't even
Although,
put butter. We didn't put anything extra.
I think it was Trenton Mukai. You remember Trenton, Jamie, on our baseball team? We went to the movies with him, whatever, and it was like MacGyver. He took a straw, stuck it in the popcorn, then put the butter tube into the straw, hit the button. So it's buttering the middle. He's a genius, man. That guy's going places. He's going places. Shout out to Trenton Mukai.
too many of these. I can't get to them. Here we go.
You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
Yep. Shout out to Trenton. But
I gotta say, I'm certain though. I didn't put any extra butter in it or anything, but I ate so much popcorn. I'm pretty bad shape.
So we didn't finish the first bag, but that's because I've come to like, okay, now's where I've got to stop or I'm going to be miserable for 2 days. So, so we didn't finish it all, but
you guys, all this popcorn talk is making me want some popcorn right now. And I don't have any. So,
well, we got a whole bag. Of course I filled up, for the road. So
I will say when I was leaving the movie theater, I drove past an Andy's frozen custard. I'm like, man, that sounds really good right now. But I knew you guys were going to be all chingy waiting. So,
yeah.
But
I'm glad we could help keep you on the wagon as far as Andy's frozen custard goes.
Right. But to answer your question that you asked probably 10 minutes ago, I mowed my yard. For the first time. It was like opening day for me. I was excited. All the neighbors have mowed theirs like last week, but I haven't had a chance. So at the start of the season, I like to let it grow kind of out of hand so I can see my trouble spots. I can see my areas. Plus, Weed Man came yesterday for the first time. So Weed Man came and
wait. They make deliveries now? They bring weed to your door in Missouri?
That's impressive.
No.
Wow.
This is a
Andy's.
So you're just gonna set it there to.
Well, it's frozen. It was from yesterday. I put it in the freezer so I could finish it. So I gotta wait. I have to wait for it to thaw.
You put it. Hold on. Time out.
Or you can be like me and be a savage and pull out the spoon and it's on there like a popsicle and you just like start fighting at it because you can't wait.
So you couldn't finish that yesterday?
Yeah, that's pretty
good. But probably
I could have. I didn't. I'd rather have two small treats.
Haven't you ever done that where you save some of what you're eating?
No. In fact, I shame my kids for saving their Andes. Like I told Macy.
You sound like a gay.
So Macy, like, Dad, I'm not a kid. I can get a small. I don't need a kid's Andes anymore. I'm like, all right, I'll get you a small, but you better eat that or I'm shoving it up your ass. Like, you better finish that. And
seems messy.
That's not where ice cream goes, by the way.
And she can't finish a small yet. So I said, never again, child. Never again will you get a small. You are still on a kid's custard at Andy's. Don't waste it. Don't put, because you're going to put it in my freezer and you're going to forget about it and you're never going to eat it.
But then you get it.
Yeah.
Do you realize how finished?
But it's never as good as the first time. It's never as good as your first time. Like before.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's frozen and it takes on a different texture. Yeah, it's not very good. Not very good at all.
Hey, anybody catch the irony of we have Andy eating Andes?
Yes, I did. That you're very observant.
But they're not a sponsor, so we can't promote them anymore.
Oh yeah.
Fork over the money, Andy's frozen custard.
I'll keep.
You just make a joke, Bobby.
No,
Keep the napkin in front of the logo.
Yeah, there you go. Covered the logo. Yeah, like Jordan when he was wearing Adidas and he covered it up because he's.
Like when we would get baseball cards in cereal boxes and they'd have like just a regular like a red jersey
Yeah.
Okay,
no
so
logos.
for both of you guys, those baseball cards that you're talking about, those are actually worth money now. Like I see them on eBay, they go for money if they're in
Really?
good shape. Yeah, and there's cards now that still do that. If you don't, so like, if they don't have a licensing agreement
Yeah,
with
you have to have
MLB,
You have to have an
they won't.
agreement with MLB
But
to
they
use all the
still
logos and stuff.
they still pump out the baseball cards without the logos. So, but anyways,
I'm a
and
nerd,
then-
and I'm pretty proud of it.
That was a good one.
And then Bobby, you mentioned covering up the logo like Jordan. Did you know we referenced that on this podcast before?
Yes, I think we had. And
We
I don't
have?
know. And I said I misspoke. I think I said he covered up the Adidas logo. I think it was Reebok, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Reebok, I believe,
Covered
for
up
the
the Reebok.
Olympics. Yeah, I had a Ford hoodie on one night, and I had a towel over it covering it up. So,
Yeah.
In case anything I said would incriminate me and get me fired at work or something, but
We were talking mowing, and somehow we ended.
yeah,
let's talk
and
about
I
the
made
weed
fun of
movie.
you. I made fun of you last week for talking about mowing, and now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Weed Man came, not that Weed Man, Bob. This is a
Different
different
Weed
Weed Man that's that treats your yard, and
Oh, that weed. Got it.
he told me I had to wait 24 hours, so I was chomping at the bit. I was ready to go because my yard looks like the worst on the block because I haven't
Yeah,
mowed it and everybody else
I'm
has.
concerned that you're perpetuating stereotypes. Although it would actually be because brown people are usually the gardeners. So anyway, go ahead.
No, I just lately I've been trying to think like what makes me happy. Like I hate everyone. I'm bored with everything. Like everything's stupid. But man, getting out there on that mower and just the clean lines and the perfectly green. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Problem was though, by the time I did all the raking and the weed eating and stuff, I looked at my watch. I had to do like the whole yard in like an hour because I had to go pick up Macy and stuff. So I had to kind of rush through it for the first time.
You didn't get to enjoy
which
it.
sucked a little bit. Yeah, I didn't get to enjoy it as much, but and I need a new set of earbuds because mine are kind of. I dropped one of my earbuds in the dog bowl and now it squeals and squeaks and stuff. But anywho, in her water bowl. But yeah, so I got out, mowed the yard. It was great. It was fantastic.
It's funny. I enjoy it too. I enjoy it so much that I'll come in the last several times I've come in and Tomas is like, well, you didn't tell me you were mowing today. I would have done half of the yard for you. And I'm like, you know what? No, I don't really want you to.
I wouldn't trust anybody to do it right.
Right.
Yeah,
I do it the way I want.
I don't say that to my kids, but quite honestly, yeah, I want to do it my way. I want my lines. I want it done a certain way. And I know they'll get it done, but it maybe wouldn't be the same way I would do it. So
I do need I've got a plethora of sticks that I need to burn. So we need to have a little fire pit out here.
I think a plethora is an understatement. We were at your house on Sunday and it looked like the freaking forest from Endor on Empire Strikes Return of the Jedi. You have so many sticks that was a pretty tall pile. You need to take
it's like
the thing, they're all sticks. They're not even like there's not even big branches. They're like all like kindling.
Well, this time around, there's some pretty big branches from the last I think the last time we had like a winter storm.
Imagine
a bunch of branches fell out. So yeah, no, I've got all kinds of stuff to burn back there. So yeah, we'll do it soon. So, but anyways,
do you have your beer like you normally? You said you like to ride around with your beer.
I wanted to, but I started mowing at like 11 a.m., which probably should have been fine. I probably should have still had the beer, but
it's your day off.
Yeah, I didn't because I started with the edging and the weed whacking, and I didn't. I should have. That was the piece that was missing. But like I said, I was kind of rushing through it, and I had to go pick up Macy afterwards anyway. So, didn't want to show up inebriated to pick up Macy. So
yeah, probably not a good look.
Yeah. They frown upon that. So yeah. So
all right. So I heard on the radio today, you guys listen to Carrington Harrison, right?
Yeah.
And I don't usually listen to sports talk. I had it on, maybe the Royals had played last. I don't know. The dial was there. I didn't change it. But I feel like he had a bad take this afternoon. He was talking about food, and specifically he was talking about apparently in Yankee Stadium, the Royals are playing the Yankees right now. There is a meatloaf burger of some sort that they were talking about.
It's funny you mentioned this because I was listening to this segment and
So
I
you were
had the
listening to
same-
the segment. His
had the
take
same
was
take.
his take was meatloaf is garbage. Nobody ever looks forward to meatloaf, and I
That's just crazy talk.
couldn't disagree more. Yes, I mean, growing up, our mother made fantastic meatloaf, and meatloaf is essentially, when you look at it, it is a cheeseburger. I mean, you've got the
So-
meat, you've got the ground beef, you've got cheese, and you've got bread in there. And instead of ketchup, you've got a mixture of ketchup and barbecue sauce. Am I
So
wrong here?
As a kid, I would completely disagree with you. I did not like mom's meatloaf. I didn't like meatloaf. I can't say mom's because I didn't eat meatloaf. And I hated it because you guys would always be like, it's just a cheeseburger. It's ketchup, there's cheese, there's meat, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Let me try it. And then I'd take a bite and I'd flip out. I'm like, no, that's not a cheeseburger. There's something different there.
The onions
it's
you don't
just-
like, right?
Yeah, you guys left out that there were onions in it.
Oh,
Can't taste them.
doesn't
So
bother
as
me.
a kid, that bothered me. But now I kind of dig onions. And now I literally, while I was listening to that segment, I was thinking to myself, man, I really missed out as a kid because mom's meatloaf is solid.
Yes.
I wish I would have taken more advantage of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I couldn't disagree with him more. Anyway, go ahead, Andy.
I think we are in the minority, though. I don't think everybody's mother made the same kind of quality meatloaf as our mom did. And then by that, I mean, probably didn't use as much salt. Probably didn't, I don't know. She
a
just,
lot of cheese in it.
yeah, probably
It's
a lot of
loaf
stuff.
meat.
Yeah, but I don't
Well,
know. I
his-
mean, because I don't think that's an uncommon take that meatloaf is kind of like the fruitcake of,
Yeah.
entree.
You're
It's just
heading
kind of
that
like
meat
something that people just throw everything together and then it's like blah. But I don't know.
Well, I will say his audience jumped all over him for sure.
Yeah, they did. You're right.
Okay.
I did
They
hear
didn't
that.
agree.
They were,
But they did bring up a point. They were talking about going to the landing and ordering meatloaf there. Would you guys ever order meatloaf at a restaurant? Like, would you
Yeah, I
eat
would.
anyone
I have
else's?
before.
You have? And
Mhm.
it's turned out okay?
Yeah, I want to say at Red Door Grill, maybe.
You've had the
Pretty
meatloaf.
good. Yeah.
I've had
It's
meatloaf at
meat.
restaurants, and now it does not compare to mother's meatloaf by any means.
Mother.
Well, then I got offended when they threw in somebody threw in Salisbury steak, and that's where
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's pretty
that's
good.
where I'm ready to ball up my fists and
What?
fight because
That-
I love Salisbury steak.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But
Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes.
Carrington's point was Salisbury steak is the gross cousin of meatloaf.
Which I think he's just wrong on all.
When
of
you
it.
actually had Salisbury steak, like the only time you had it was in like frozen dinners, wasn't it? When did we ever have Salisbury steak?
Well, like I would get Salisbury steak at like Old Country Buffet or something like that.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
And who
but,
is Salisbury? What the hell? What's the special? What makes it a Salisbury steak? Isn't it just basically a cheeseburger covered in gravy, or without the
It's
cheese?
grown
From
is
the
it?
hills of Salisbury.
it's
Isn't
a
it
meat
just
patty.
a hamburger patty covered in gravy, right? I mean, that's pretty much it. What the hell is a Salisbury steak? It definitely ain't steak.
Doesn't it also have like onion and stuff with it sometimes in the gravy? Sometimes it's topped with something.
Is it a different type of ground beef? I mean, is it like from a different part of the?
What a what a
This is the guy that
bowl?
burns
like
toast. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
A different kind of ground beef.
And a lot of Carrington's food takes are often based on they always talk about the two Americas, because there's so many
Right.
things that people always tell him about that he's never even tried before, because it's just kind of not a food that black people grew up with, or or something like.
Yeah.
I don't know how many black kids are having meatloaf. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's a culture. There's a culture.
Interesting, yeah, because he said, if a kid was coming over to my house, or or I was going over to a kid's house, and their parents, and they said stay for dinner, and oh yeah, what do you have? A meatloaf. I'll come back tomorrow. So he's like, it wasn't like it was catfish. And I'm like, catfish? We never had catfish growing
No.
up.
Exactly.
I never have.
Right.
See, I think,
No.
but that is a staple in black culture. Like all the guys I worked with for a while, they were always talking about catfish, and because because they fish too, and
Yeah.
And I played baseball for Mad Jacks, and I never had catfish.
What's
To go
Mad
along-
Jacks?
Mad Jacks is a catfish place.
Oh, was it? I didn't know that.
Here,
Dude,
I think you
you
could pick that up
looked
from
up in the
context.
air like you were You looked up in the air like you were talking to him directly above you. It's kind of cool. Like it's very Brady Bunch. You looked up like you're saying that.
Very Brady Bunch.
Anyway,
What are you talking about?
Bless
No,
you.
But no, I
Along-
bet like
along that-
see, like he probably had like more different types of foods that we never tried that are on his checklist before you'd ever get to meatloaf. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's-
the whole time I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, man, Carrington, you really needed to have had my mother's meatloaf before you have this take.
I've thought about like what are those meals you want, like the last meals at the end of your life. I'm like, I want to save that meatloaf recipe or something. Like I need to have mom's meatloaf before.
The heck with an Easter dinner. We should have just told mom we want meatloaf for Easter.
Mom, meatloaf.
I was wondering when that was coming. I knew it was
Hey,
coming.
so you talk about the two worlds or whatever. I'm, as you know, I have an obsession with pumpkin pie, but I still have, surprisingly enough, have not tried sweet potato pie. And I like sweet potatoes, but I feel like I have to at some point.
I think
Have
I've
that.
had it. I think I've
Have
had
you?
it. I can't remember. I feel
Not
like
me.
I feel like I've had some, but I don't really like sweet potatoes.
Ooh,
Oh,
sweet
okay.
potatoes are good, especially sweet
I don't
potato
like-
fries.
Nope. I was about to say I don't even like sweet potato fries.
Sweet
Nope.
potato fries.
Pass.
Ooh, sweet potatoes are
Nasty.
good.
I mean, just
That's
anything. Sorry, anything that's supposed to be salty, I don't like the sweet version of it. So like, I don't like sweet potato fries. I don't like kettle corn. I can't
I
stand
got-
it.
Ooh, I love kettle corn.
Kettle corn's good.
No,
I
can't
got
stand it.
sweet potato fries at a restaurant one time, and this is the only time it's ever happened, but they put sugar with it. Like, so you dipped, or like it had sugar on the fry. I'm like, no, that was not good. I mean, I've had sweet potato fries by itself with salt and stuff, but not with sugar. Like, wasn't a good thing.
Sweet potatoes are good, but that is something I definitely acquired as an adult because obviously we didn't grow up with sweet. Mom didn't make sweet potatoes, and no, they're very, very
And
good.
I don't really care for them, but I've had them prepared in ways that I've liked. Like I've had them with like kind of Parmesan or just seasoning type stuff on top. Maybe with like blue cheese, like kind of like in a
Oh, that sounds like a lot of
mixture
work.
thing. I
I
mean,
literally get a sweet potato, wash it, stab it a bunch of times with a fork, throw it in the microwave, take it out, and eat the entire thing, like skin and all.
So you guys need to try the sweet potato fries at BRGR, which brings me to another topic. Have you guys ever eaten a burger at BRGR?
Yes.
Mhm.
Very good.
yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Very good. A little pricey.
I was going to say, given the cost, I didn't know whether you guys had ventured over there, but yeah,
You think we're poor?
no, but I know you tend to shop more on the thrifty side.
That's
Isn't that
Yeah,
fair?
he's
no,
got
it's
you.
rude.
there.
is
Am I
what it is.
wrong?
It's rude, is what it is.
It's Rudy like is what it is.
no,
No,
it's
Rudy-
Jamie
Rudy-
like.
Rudy's the
It's
opposite. That would
Jamie.
be more me.
No,
Yeah,
Be more
That's
I'll
Jamie.
true.
go. I'll spend. Yeah,
Rudy,
All right.
Rudy's more than willing to spend above his means. No,
So if you
am I
guys-
wrong? Is
He's
Rudy
not
frozen?
answering. You've taken him
it's
off.
just rude. I just
it's a low blow.
I won't respond to it.
He's
I'll
itching
not
to
have
tell
it.
it. He's itching to tell us how much money he makes.
Oh yeah, he was throwing it around this
Yeah,
weekend.
he's pretty
Boy,
proud.
he was
Yeah, he's on one.
Where was that throwing it around at?
he was bragging about being
Yeah.
being Mr. Mr.
thousandaire.
Billionaire.
Anyway, I'm getting off subject here. BRGR. They have a jalapeno popper burger there.
Gay.
I'm guessing you guys haven't tried it. What do you guys get when you go to BRGR?
What the hell is a jalapeno? A pino, is that how they say it in Mexico? Jalapeno.
Enye. What did I? Jalapeno. Is that does that suit your fancy
Anyway,
better?
go ahead. I'm not a big jalapeno fan.
Okay. Well,
I've only been there once or twice. I couldn't tell you what I get there.
I go there like
You know.
once a month, but okay.
Mm.
Anyway, they
We
have
have
a
too too many great burger places up north between Danny's Burger Shack and Tay's Burger Shack. You know what? They're both burger shacks, aren't they? We have a plethora of burger shacks, I guess. Up in
Have you heard of the Fat Shack over up Vivian and Antioch?
Yes, I've
never,
heard of
never
it.
had a burger there.
I saw your
I've heard it's
mom
very
there.
good.
Mom, I'm telling.
Anyway,
Anyway.
we got way off topic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, meatloaf. That's where we started.
Yeah, with mom's all her bring your own food Sundays now. No. I
We
ain't
need to
having
have a
that no more.
meatloaf. Tell her she needs to make meatloaf for 25 people next week.
Or else what? Or else what? We won't come over and make her day. Yeah.
You guys.
Have you guys seen that this week? Let me see if I can pull this up. This week, with the high cost of eggs, people are turning to dyeing marshmallows. Can you see that?
We can now. Scroll down.
Are you guys able to see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, so people are dyeing marshmallows this Easter amid record high egg prices, and there's now a kit for decorating your marshmallows. So I'm
Well,
wondering
wouldn't it
if
be
you
the same
guys
one?
and your children will be
Wouldn't it be the
decorating
same kit
marshmallows.
It'd be the same kit used for dyeing eggs, right?
I think
was
so,
thinking
but
that too. I would think it would have to be because you couldn't manufacture that so fast. Knowing there was a crisis with eggs. Oh, we gotta. You know what I mean?
I think Paz probably has the market on this as well.
I don't know,
Paz
but I'm
does when
doing
it comes
this.
to Easter eggs. These are not eggs; these are marshmallows.
I'm sure Paz made a quick pivot, and I'm sure they've got this
think so.
under wraps. So what do you got to do? Just change the little wire dipper to a different shape? I mean,
I don't know.
come on.
I don't know. I was wondering if you guys are gonna go the route of buying.
I think so. I think I might give this a shot.
Yeah,
I'll report back. I'll show you guys our artistic marshmallows.
dyeing marshmallows.
We're gonna hide marshmallows.
Have fun.
No.
Anyway,
Yeah.
We'll not do that. What's the deal with this? What's the deal with these La Tierra taco shells? So that
I've had them before. They're not very good. They're very thin and weak, and I don't know. What
it's definitely a white people taco night thing. But
I saw Kim put them on Facebook. What's the deal with what's going on with
Apparently
La Tierra?
So
Apparently
they're
the
going
wrong
out of
way.
business. And if you go
I
on
can see why.
eBay, there's people trying to sell them for like $30,000 for a box. There's one on eBay. No bids yet, but I mean, people are going nuts that this company's going out of business. Like, where am I going to get my taco shells from? But and I don't know if it's why they're going out of business. If it's surely they're not made in Mexico, I wouldn't think. But yeah, they're going out of business, and they're let me see if I can find it real quick.
Are they
They're
they're not a
good.
local company, right? That's not a local brand.
No, I don't think so.
Because here locally, my wife's family, the Perez Food Products, the tortilla shells, they stopped making those earlier this year too. So
Why we
Maybe
didn't take over the company, I don't know, but
Maybe the world's ready for some Paredes taco shells.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. 100%.
we spent our lifetime learning how to make tortillas and make shells. Yeah.
Do you have anything besides Mexican food?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her posted that. I saw that Kim posted that on Facebook, and I was like, I have no idea what this means. She just posted a picture of the La Tierra taco shell. But I have had them before. They're not very. They're easily breakable.
Yeah, they're like paper thin.
So
Which is what you want out of a taco shell.
I know, right? They're terrible. Like I said, it's definitely a.
Does anybody really finish?
taco.
Does anybody really finish
So-
a taco like all in the same shape it was when you picked it up? I mean, it all just falls on your plate anyway, and you just eat it with a spoon, right?
Yeah, I know. And you just use your chips.
Yeah.
But are you guys seeing this by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
$5,000 for a box of 12.
Or best offer. Or best offer.
And even though you're paying
$50,
$5,000, you got to pay an additional $5.91 in delivery charge.
That was
the 5,000 isn't enough. We need to get that $5.91 in
That extra
delivery.
$5.91 for delivery.
You better have a buttload of packing peanuts to keep those things from breaking.
Yeah, I know, right?
$50,000. Is this got to be? This is a joke, right? I mean, nobody's actually going to buy these.
I mean, I don't think any have sold yet, but
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, here's a more reasonable. I'll pay $40 for a box of 12 taco shells. That's more reasonable.
Yeah, that's definitely more reasonable. Yeah.
But how
More
much
my
is
speed.
shipping on that one?
Shipping $6.99. Ooh, shipping's a little
Yeah.
steeper on this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, a little crazy.
Better be hand delivered for 50 grand.
Along with some, never mind.
Have you guys seen the trend on social media to use AI to turn people into action figures?
Yeah, that's awful.
Have you tried it? Did you make your own?
No, I've not. I was going to ask you guys, have you thought about maybe making yourself into an action figure?
Well, I think all four
I
of us
see
should
that.
do
Yeah,
it, and then
yeah.
we'll post it on social media. I know
I was
people
kind of
say they
thinking
don't
that way.
want
I
to
was
do
like,
it. Yeah, we should totally do it. And then people are like, "No,
course.
China's stealing your information." Who cares? What are they gonna do with it? Maybe they'll do something better with it than I'm doing. I mean,
They
don't
know that
care.
you have high blood pressure. Great.
Who
What are they
cares?
gonna do
Who
with that?
cares? Who cares? So what? What was that Saturday Night Live character?
What if you say that? You say that
cares?
now, but
So
like,
what?
what if you say
That was
that now? But
Armisen
like, what if
doing
you,
Joy Bayer.
That's what it was. Fred Armisen. Okay, go ahead, Bob. What?
you say that now? But what if, like, in I don't know, 5 years, 8 years, you happen to be traveling somewhere? Maybe not even traveling. Maybe you're surfing the internet, and you find that somebody is making a shit ton of money off of these Rudy action figures. You'd be a little upset, wouldn't you? Because you just said
He just want to play with himself.
If
you just said, who cares if they take my information or if they take my
yeah, and if frogs had wings, they wouldn't bump their ass when they hopped. I mean,
so
Wayne's
you're
World.
saying it's not like
It doesn't matter. That's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
okay, all right.
Ever. Never
I'm
in
gonna
this
make
lifetime.
I'm gonna make just like we had the little wrestling rubber wrestling dolls in the wrestling ring. I'm going to make action figures of all of us. I'm gonna sell them and watch Rudy be my best seller.
Probably. Well, that goes without
what would
saying.
be
If
your
that was
what would be your accessories? I mean, obviously the glasses.
so the glasses would be removable then?
Yeah.
Because I rarely am without them, so I would just put the glasses on the action figure. Probably.
All right. Well,
Some Carhartts.
Man, that's a good question.
2 liter of pop.
No, I don't do pop. I mean, I don't do 2 liters. That's for sure. If it was going to be a soda, it'd be like a can. Maybe some baseball cards.
I was going to say baseball cards. I don't know what type of information you need to feed into Chat GPT in order for them to kick out your action figure.
So if this is a current action figure of myself right now, I'd probably have my dog with me because, yeah, just dog, a can of soda, some baseball cards, and
yeah, your Carhartts.
Maybe a cell phone. I don't know. That's a good question though. But that's
what would I have?
Yeah, we should do it for other people. So yeah,
what would I have?
What would Jamie
you
have?
would have an
Jamie
empty
would have-
like well, hold on. I was gonna say
a very full wallet because he doesn't spend money on anything.
Right. So how would we put that into an action figure? He would
a wallet. Just
he'd
that
have
would be the
he'd have
accessory.
little sad children with him because they don't ever get anything.
Yes. Children, his girls with the sad faces because they don't get to buy anything.
He'd have a Mizzou tiger tail.
Yes,
because that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
And he'd have a full wallet because it has all the cash that he doesn't spend on his kids.
Yeah.
Because he's a miser.
Now, Bobby, what would Bobby have?
He'd have his stupid little dog in a carrier or something.
Yes, he would have the dog. Yeah, his little tiny dog.
Paris Hilton.
That's fair.
He'd have a Masters hoodie or a Masters polo or something.
Also fair. You guys are missing an obvious one, I feel like, but
He'd have puppy eyes because he was drinking too much.
All
Yeah,
right,
his
well,
face
see,
would be red.
that's what I was gonna say. You gotta put either a Mick Ultra or a
Drinking
Modelo or a glass of wine
Michelob
there.
Ultra.
Yeah.
And now Andrew would have a like a playbill for
Yes.
Hello Dolly.
He would be missing from the package because he fell asleep.
Yes.
I have a pillow
Um,
because he fell asleep and made us wait on him to start the show.
In his defense, we do record pretty late at night. But anyway.
trying to think of what else.
Goofy hat.
His goofy hat would be good.
That'd be a good one.
Is there anything we're missing you can think of, Andrew?
I was trying to think of like a food item, but I can't think of anything in particular.
An Andy's frozen
I was
custard.
going to say, but that was pretty obvious.
You still waiting on that
It's the
thing to
taste of
melt?
the new generation. It's getting there. It's getting there. I got the. I was able to get the spoon out. So
I don't know how you can wait because once I decide I want to eat something, like I get excited, my blood starts pumping. Like I couldn't sit there and wait for it to thaw. I'd like put it in the microwave.
It's called patience.
No,
We have it.
that's why you're talking about the guy who would go out to get Jimmy John's for the family and come home, and they'd ask me where mine was because I ate it on the way home. Like I didn't even make it home. Like,
Here's something I heard at work the other day about Jimmy John's. Did you know my buddy Adam at work said that you can go into Jimmy John's and buy their bread?
yeah,
Like you can buy their day old bread for like $1. Like
Oh, I
loaf
didn't
like
know
of-
that.
$1? Okay.
even cheaper. I think like 50 cents maybe.
I didn't know
Is
that.
it really?
And it's like a huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said
Yeah.
they'll slice it for you, they'll cut the bread up for you, and then you go home and make your own sandwiches.
Okay.
Yeah,
You had me at
we've done that.
You had me at $1.
We used to do that because Vanessa, whenever Kaylee and I love going to Jimmy John's, but Vanessa doesn't want anything there. And so sometimes we're just like, all right, we'll just get you this big ass piece of bread. And so she would just be walking around just
Here, gnaw on this.
Big ass
be happy.
bread. You know the Jimmy John's owner is a terrible human being, right?
Yes.
I've heard.
But
I
that
think they all
that,
are, though.
Didn't he
that
shoot
number 9
animals?
Italian nightclub, he did stuff with. I don't know.
Speaking of terrible owners, did you guys see the all-female flight crew that went into space for 12 seconds and came back down?
That was fake, correct? I heard it was like staged. That wasn't real. I don't
No,
know.
I mean they went.
don't know
They went
anything
to
about
outer
it.
I'm
space.
pretty sure it's real.
I saw that on Twitter. I
Nothing
mean,
with Gail King or something.
yeah. Why do I care about this? And why did they get picked? And I didn't hear anything about it until they came back. I didn't know that was a thing. What are we doing that
Oh, yeah.
for? Can we use the money for something else? Like they
Publicity
didn't go up there
stunt.
for science. They didn't go up there for science or anything. They didn't learn anything.
To be able to say
So-
that this was the first all-female crew.
God, could
Went
you
into space.
imagine how catty that was?
Did you guys not hear the screams from what I presume was Gail King on the way back down? Yeah, they had some audio. That was kind of fun.
They probably all got their periods at the same time. Now we're all in danger. Bear, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Bears.
Bears.
Now we're all in danger.
He wants no part of this.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
I just thought of another accessory for Jamie. You know, Jamie's action figure would have a pumpkin pie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
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 a
With
whole
no
sandwich.
with no fork because I couldn't wait to eat it and would eat it with my hand. Yeah.
Sam's pumpkin pie.
You'd have to cut pieces though, right?
I haven't told you this story before. Have I not told the
No.
story on here? Where
I
I
think
was
so,
so
but
excited. I was so excited to get my pumpkin pie from Sam's that I got it and I brought it back to the Jeep and was sitting there and I was just like, I'm opening it and I just dug my hand into it and kind of lifted up the crust a little bit and it kind of came apart and I was like eating it like that in the parking lot.
In the parking lot?
Yeah. See, I
That's
told
a
you, if
that's a
I
problem.
have something that I want to eat and it's in the car, and it's just me in the car, I'm gonna win. Like it's not gonna last until I get home. Like I'm not like I get excited because I'm about to eat this thing, and I'm like I'm just gonna do it now. So I eat it right then and there.
I think
Or-
I like to savor more. Like I get sad, I get teary when I'm almost done with it.
Yes.
Like I will literally, I'm gonna save these last 3 McDonald's
eat it
fries because they're my
slow-
last ones. And
Eat it slowly and remember that you're eating it. And
yeah,
Remember that I'm eating. What am I?
take it all
forget?
in, absorb it, have it be an experience and not so much. Oh shit! I guess I ate the whole pie. Didn't even notice
yeah, like you shouldn't cry because it's gone. You should be happy that you have
that it
it.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, see, because the whole way home you can be. Apparently, you've never heard of delayed gratification. The whole way home you could be thinking, "Wow, this
That's
pumpkin
not
pie
me.
is really going to brighten my day. I can't wait till I get home and I get a fork out and I'm gonna,
get a nice comfy spot
yeah,
on the couch.
you start playing it over in your head. This is what I'm gonna do.
Maybe have a playlist for my pie eating playlist and get that ready, and you're ready to go, man.
Light some
Yeah.
candles.
What would
Light
Right.
some,
definitely you have to have Weird Al Yankovic on there, right? Eat it.
Is there a?
Yeah, probably have the Fat Albert theme.
Yeah, I gotta set the mood. Gotta put
Yeah.
rose petals down.
Lower
that-
the
Yeah.
little mood
Play-
lighting.
You're
play
getting
All
it
You
now.
Can Eat by the
Yeah.
Fat Boys.
Anything by the Fat Boys, yeah.
Cut a hole in the middle of it, and
The
then go to
Fat
town.
Boys are
Oh,
back.
well.
And you know,
See, I was
whatever
gonna
it
say
is.
I never
The Lord is
never
my
eat-
shepherd. He know what I want.
I never eat the food in the car because part of the equation that makes it taste so good is being on the couch in front of the TV. Like that makes the burger taste that much better.
And I'm gonna state the obvious here. Unless you had hand sanitizer in your car,
Oh yeah, no.
you just were in public at Sam's Club
Probably
shopping, touching your
pushing
wallet,
a cart.
pushing a cart, touching the machines.
Hey, my pumpkin pie won't let me down. It'll keep me healthy. I'm good.
I will say, Andrew, you're talking about getting home and bring. I never bring. If I go out and purchase food, I don't bring it home.
Yeah.
Part of my purchasing it and spending money is this is an outing now. I'm spending money on getting. I'm doing something. I'm gonna mess up their dining room, not my kitchen. Like not,
Well,
all
but it
trash is
also-
gonna go there.
I agree with you there, but it's also goes back to Jamie though. I would rather eat it there. That way I don't have to smell it on the way home. Now I can because usually wherever I'm going is not more than let's say a 5 to 8 minute drive away from my house. But still, I mean, I get bummed out when Nita says, "Yeah, just go pick something up and bring it back here." I'm like, no, if we're gonna pick something up, I want to eat it there.
So what I've done in the past,
disagree.
If I've had a family member say, "Go pick something up and bring it back," okay, I'm gonna go and eat mine. You guys will wait on yours. I'll bring you guys something back, but I'm gonna go enjoy.
Not
mine
usually
right
how
there.
it works in my house. Yeah.
No, I mean I like kicking my feet up, relaxing, and watching something on TV, and then enjoying fries and a burger or what have you. And part of it too is I like the drive home with the food in the car because then my car is going to smell like food, like the food that I just had for a few days. It's going to be great.
Yeah, see, I don't like that smell when I get back in the car. And I'm like, oh god, it smells like that greasy pizza I had yesterday. Yeah, I mean,
What
I
about
don't
these
know.
places? What about these places like Chipotle or whatever that have the racks out in the dining area, and they put like the to-go order. They had the to-go order, placed on the like. People just kind of like nobody's monitoring that. Like people could just come and just grab.
I mean, you're rolling the dice.
You mean
like
dishonest
I could walk
people
up.
who are thieves?
Yeah.
Is that what you're Okay.
Yes. Not that I've done this before, but
okay.
I'm just saying.
Wait, didn't Bobby tell a
I'd
story
be
about
pissed
how
if it
you
was-
recently?
I'd be pissed if it was
Bobby
my order.
I think you recently stole something.
Me?
And I tried to put it in. Yeah.
What did I steal?
Anyways, sorry. Let me think on it. Go back. Go ahead, Jamie.
Because I went to confession, so if I stole something, you need to let me know because I forgot to tell the priest.
No, I'd just be pissed if it was my order that got stolen and I show up. I'm like starving, like, oh, finally. And my order's like missing because somebody just, ganked it.
I hear you, but I also feel like that's never happened to me. And I'm not saying that it wouldn't, but I just don't think it's as common as you would think. You would think,
really?
How isn't this happening all the time?
Right.
It happened to me at the Buffalo Wild Wings right here. The Buffalo Wild Wings to go. I had just moved here and I was like, ooh, I got a Buffalo Wild Wings next to me. I'm going to put in my order on my phone. It was, the BOGO Tuesday or Thursday, whatever it is. And I was all ready to eat it. And I walked in and it wasn't there. My name was My name was on the board still, but she said that no, I put those out here. I'm like, oh, they're not here. So I had to sit there and wait while they prepared more for me. But
What kind of a society do we live in when people just will walk in off the street and grab something off a shelf? And
bunch of savages in this town.
yeah,
that reminds me though, randomly, from a story back from when I was at Disney World, because when you have strollers, you're just expected to just park them like wherever. Like if you're at this ride, here's the stroller parking for it, and you just leave your strollers and walk away. And to me, it took me a long time to be there. It took me a long time to get used to that, and eventually I'm doing it just like everybody else. Because at a certain point, you're like, yeah, there's kind of an understanding here. We're all in the same whatever. But I had read on like a Facebook group that I had joined before we went on the trip to kind of learn some tips of what was in the park and whatnot. And I had read that somebody was stealing stuff from strollers, so I was like nervous about it. Well, again, never a problem for us. Everything was always there when we came back. But one time I was waiting for Kaylee to ride a ride or something, and so I'm sitting there, and the couple next to me is looking for their stroller, and they're like, talking to themselves. I don't know what's going on. They end up getting some officials, some park officials, people in uniform and stuff. I'm trying not to eavesdrop, but I know something's going on. Eventually, somebody else comes by with a stroller, and it turns out he just took their stroller because they have the exact same stroller.
Took the wrong one. Yeah.
It wasn't until he was far away, and then they were like, "Oh, where'd this popcorn come from? That's right here." And then they brought it back. But I was just like,
the other one be still there?
What do you mean?
Like the one that looks identical to the one that they had, wouldn't that still be there? And they'd be like, "Oh."
Yeah, I mean, they came back for it. They walked off with this other person's stroller.
Right.
It was theirs.
So I'm just saying that their stroller that they didn't get that was theirs is still there, and that person has one that looks just like it, and so they might be like, "Oh, well, this one's ours," and they just basically switch. It's like
switch at birth.
Yeah, it's like Dutch door action.
Yeah, but if you're paying attention, it doesn't take long to figure out, hey, this is not the same.
Hey, you're talking to a guy who brought the wrong dog home from the dog sitter, so. Yeah,
that's right. I remember.
Not exactly the most observant person.
I think that was circa episode 30 or so.
That's right. I remember.
Go back and check it out. Go back and check it out. Tell the audience.
Yes.
So I got something here too, Jamie. I was going to ask you because we had our birthday party for our two kids over this past weekend. And I remember last year, and I think even you might have said this before too, for other parties, that sometimes you if you donate money to the 527 or whatever it is, whatever those numbers are,
529,
529 plan.
I don't even remember. Yeah. Sometimes you wait to see what the spread's like at the party. To see if you throw it down a little extra. How did we do on a scale of 1 to 10? Did we provide enough for your?
Yes, we would have. We got gifts this time, but
okay.
Yeah. So it was already. We were already going to be locked into the value.
Sure.
But the exchange rate, I think it came out pretty on par.
We would have earned the bonus.
Yes, definitely. Although I could use another piece of cake and one less piece of pizza.
I've got plenty of cake. If you'd like some more.
I came up. I waited patiently to eat at your party. Was planning on taking my 2 pieces, that were allotted. And when I got up to the table, Andrew tells me, "Well, I allotted 3 for you, Jamie, and Bobby." So just knowing that we're disgusting human beings, so I was like, "Oh, well, don't mind if I do." And so I got 2 of the largest pieces in the box after I had already eaten one. And I will say you did a great job on the food.
Yes,
I missed the cookies from last year.
Yes. It would have been better if it was like Minsky's or something. But I've never seen so many kids in my life. Like you couldn't provide that many Minsky's pizzas for that many people.
Can you imagine if you had spent the Minsky's money and then you gave a kid a piece of pizza and they took one bite and they're like, "Yeah, I'm done," or they threw it away?
Right. So that I knew that wasn't a possibility. So just the amount of food that you had to purchase because of the amount of people you had there. Pizza Hut was solid.
Kudos.
But I will say that Macy came in and she's like, I think I saw some fruit, like a fruit bowl here. Like, do you see it? And I'm like, I think it's gone. Now I know you had the oranges still on the table, but there was a bowl of like grapes and blueberries. And
Yeah.
Macy was looking for that, but I think it was gone by the time she.
Because I remember you telling me that, and then I went out and told her. I said the bowl's on the table. Now I don't know if there was still anything in it. I know there was a bowl. The fruit bowl was on the table. I think everyone had moved on to cake and stuff, so we had like put the lid on it. And
how about a nice fruit bowl?
I knew you were gonna do. I figured you just said that just to set yourself up for it.
Jamie, do you know what a fruit bowl is?
Sounds like something I should know. What is it?
According
What's it
to
from?
was it tweet?
was
It's from
Butters.
South Park. Butters on South Park.
Yeah,
It's when
no.
I'll tell you off air. If anybody knows what a fruit bowl, is, put it in the comments.
Yeah, well, that's disgusting.
But anyways, no, solid spread there. There was no
Yes.
soda, which I know I'm off soda, but I was really depending on what you're eating.
I get
like
it.
with a slice of pizza, I would have loved a
No.
soda.
Now, pizza makes you thirsty, so I appreciated the water being there.
Mm-hmm.
wanna.
I would have liked to get soda, but the problem is then I know for me, like we do mostly diet here now, Diet Coke or Coke Zero or something. It's like, everybody likes something different. And it's hard to just say, okay, we're just going to have Coke or we're just going to have this or,
Right.
it's like,
Stop shaking your
plus,
leg, Jamie.
Plus the water was given to us by our neighbor, like the day before. He came over, he wanted to borrow our weed puller. Like just, he's done it before. He's come out and borrowed some of our stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'll leave it outside the garage for you to come by and get it whenever you want. And he left 2 cases of water, like as a thank you. It's like, all right.
That's
He
weird.
had no idea we were having a party the next day, but I was like, I'll
Pretty
just
cool.
load these up in the trunk. And
Yeah,
So.
that's pretty solid.
yeah,
Good for him.
shout out to Javier.
Javier, ooh, another
My son.
Chicano.
Mhm.
Oh, different Javier.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
good party. Good.
Me and Tomas, we have a running joke that this family loves talking about food, and I was thinking right now as we were having this conversation about the food at Andrew's kid's birthday party, I bet you'd be hard pressed to find one episode of the 63 that we've done where food didn't come up at all. Do you think there's a single episode where we didn't at least mention food in some respect?
That'd be tough.
No.
If
I mean,
there's
half of our
somebody,
drops about food.
if there's a
that's-
listener,
we have drops about food too.
yeah. If there's a listener that can point out, go back and listen to all the episodes and find one where we don't mention food, you'll win $100 gift card
To a food place. To
So.
either our early sponsor, the farmhouse, or to Rudy's Tanampa, but we'll get you a gift card.
We'll get you taken care of. That's how
Yeah.
much I'm sure we've talked about food in every
RTR.
episode. Yeah.
Talk about, he's literally eating ice cream right now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Tomas and I, we just crack up because this family, that's the one thing that we bond over, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
talking about something, if we're not talking about something, hey, I just tried something this past week, you guys need to go try it. Or, hey, are we going to meet up with our cousin, JJ somewhere? Let's go meet up at a restaurant, which we did, by the way. Me and Jamie did over the weekend. We could talk about that too. But we're always talking about food, or food is somehow the thing that brings us together. I mean,
the climax of every day, the apex of every single day of my life is when I'm eating. Like that's what I'm looking for. It's a build up to eating, and then the rest of it is let's slow it down and go to sleep. Like,
and I don't
eating
do
is-
that every day, but I do. I tell my kids, you should eat to live, don't live to eat. Now, that rule is different, I think, for me on the weekends. On the weekends, I want to go and explore, try some different foods, or eat something that hey, boy, I haven't had such and such in a long time. That would be tasty.
Speaking of which, and we can get to it, Paul's Jr.
Oh my God, how did we not talk about that?
I thought we were going to talk about that last week. I was surprised.
Well, I
Go
don't know
ahead,
that
tell the
a
story.
lot of people. Does everybody know what the
I don't
whole
think that-
thing?
you got to give the whole background. Tell what we're talking about here and what.
Well, we have talked about Paul's before on an episode because we talked about the onion rings.
In fact, yeah, the onion rings is
Oh,
one of
that's
our
right.
thumbnails on one of our episodes. Yeah,
But that was a long time
That's
ago.
right.
So.
Yeah. So
And
Paul's
I don't
is
think it
just
got a lot of
it's
views. But go ahead.
you don't say. Paul's is a burger joint, a greasy burger joint in Argentine, Kansas, that we've been going to since birth, probably. Right? Mom
Fair
and
enough.
Dad probably went there before we were even born. I mean,
Fair enough.
I remember going there in the back of Dad's truck, laying with David Castro, just laying in the truck bed, looking up as we passed the Power and Light building, watching that thing change on our way to Paul's.
We would
just
drive
always
from
do.
Northeast Kansas City, Missouri, all the way over there and
Argentine.
back to get
Linda
Paul's.
Linda Pernice, David's mom, Linda Pernice would take me and David and Joe Mike
R.I.P.
all the time. R.I.P. Linda Pernice. But she would take us to Paul's all the time. It was just
So
it was
Seventh and Osage, KCK. It was right down the street from Shawnee Park, where we also spent a lot of our time growing up as
amazing burgers, amazing fries, amazing onion
Burgers are
rings. They
incredible.
basically they do it all. And
well.
basically
Cheeseburger basket. I think they did.
Italian
Yeah.
steak sandwich.
Italian
steak.
steak was Dad's.
and so how long ago was it that they closed?
I
So
wanna
they
say about
basically
5
just
years
fucking
ago.
shut down.
It
it
was
pre or
probably
post-COVID?
4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's
I-
probably closer to 4 because I believe I was living on the plaza and I realized like I'm really close to Paul's. Like I can get there really quick. And so I
Because
started going there more often.
yeah,
That's where I learned
Vanessa
to eat in my car.
Does anybody know what
Vanessa
it was called before Paul's?
No.
My father-in-law told me it was called
Not Humdinger.
Zestos. So anytime Zestos.
Oh, okay.
So anytime I'd say, "Oh, let's go to Paul's," and later he'd be talking about so and so Zestos, and I'm like, eventually I realized Paul's used to be, or at least at some point prior to it becoming Paul's, it was called Zestos.
So our long story short, they shut down, and we've been in mourning ever since.
Side
especially-
note, Mom never bought Pops at Paul's because they were too expensive. So we would always go to the McDonald's across the street and get the dollar sodas and then go to Paul's and get our sandwiches. So
Or
that's probably where Jamie gets a little bit of his
frugalness,
thriftiness, frugal. Yeah. So
frugality. But no,
yeah, I
the
bought
other joke,
popcorn for my kids. So hey,
the other joke is that
no
Mom
soda, no drink. But go ahead.
the other joke was that Mom would call us, wouldn't she, when they were like coming underneath the
Get the pop.
670 on the way home, and it was that was get the pop ready.
The pop ready. Get the pop ready.
We're on our way.
Did we
Like she
say
was-
this?
This
she
was
was
before
coming home
texting,
with-
by the way. Before
It's
texting.
like she was coming home with that organ, like an organ transplant, like with a heart in a cooler or something. Get the pop
Yeah.
ready.
Get
A
the
guy.
pop ready.
As soon as we walk
I
in, we're gonna
think-
devour these.
I think thinking back on it, that might be the happiest phone call I ever received as a child.
Yeah, because you're like, oh boy,
Was
because
get
this was before GPS. We couldn't tell where they were. We had to wait for her to call and say, "We're coming, through downtown
Get the
right
pop
now." And
ready.
you're like, okay, all right, so they should be here in about
I just remember
8 more minutes.
I just remember jumping up, getting the cup, getting the ice. Get the pop ready was the greatest call you could receive as a child.
It's
the pop
like
ready.
we're about to throw down on some poles.
Oh,
Well, so
I
now do we
remember
know?
too when there was
Go
when it was all of us, when there was a big family coming, like it would come, they would have to have like cardboard boxes, like you would get at Aldi, like to carry it all in.
Yeah.
Because it'd be
Yeah.
like 5-6 different bags of food, and
right.
that was also
Jeez.
part of it too. It was just a big old thing that Dad would have to carry in.
Our family
Was-
contributed to keeping them afloat for a number of years, I think.
Was Dad extra mustard or no mustard on his burger, on his Paul's?
He likes mustard.
Yeah, I think it's
then it
extra
was
mustard.
Yeah.
I know
so-
Mom would
No.
too. She would always order extra mustard, extra pickles, because I guess those two
Yeah.
things, for whatever reason, made her think she was getting so much more.
Yeah, she
out of
thought
it.
she was like, I'll show them extra mustard, extra pickles.
As good as the onion rings are, there were times, in fact, I started to get no onion rings because then that meant you got more fries.
More fries, but the value of those onion rings were just
Greatest. They're
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't
At
even
some
like
point-
onion rings anywhere else. I'll get them. I
No.
got them at Red Robin's the other day, and I'm like, okay, they're fine, but
No.
nothing is ever a Paul's onion ring.
I believe it's.
Man.
I believe it's Red Robin singular, brother.
We did this last week. Whatever, dude. Walmart's, Targets, Red Robins,
JC Penney's.
JC
And then as I got older too, when you guys were all gone, it was just me and mom and dad, and we would go together, all three of us. Like she had her spot where she would call it in, so it would be ready right when we got there. Yeah, she had it on speed dial. Yeah,
it was as she was going under Bartle Hall, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Yep. That's what you'd call.
Yeah.
And extra mustard, extra pickle. And then what would be fun was every once in a while, she'd look back in the back like, doubles, just singles, doubles.
That was the best.
Should we get doubles? Should we get doubles? Like she'd always like it's up to me. Like it's up to us. Like clearly you want.
not think that would be too much?
Now, if we were ever to get a triple, that was the line. Like if you got a triple, he's getting a triple. Like,
well, to me, I didn't even know. I never even thought that was a possibility to me because doubles were first off, we're huge, but also like was such a treat. Like, we're being bad if we're getting doubles.
These burgers are basically like Whataburgers, and I remember getting a triple at Whataburger, and
so you mentioned
he held it. He's like, oh, it's so heavy.
You mentioned that on Sunday that Whataburgers, the taste is very much like Paul's. So I went to Whataburger on Monday.
Of course he did.
And as I'm sitting there ordering, and I know I should just get a single, but I'm like, give me a double. I got a double at Whataburger, and it was huge. I mean, that was plenty. Like I had to literally stop at Quick Trip to explode before I got to work. Like I was late to work because of the Whataburger had to come out. Like it was not. Yeah,
I love that story.
I went down to Texas like 10 years ago, and there had been a big Whataburger drought in my life at that time. And I remember getting one and thinking like, that's when I held it, I was like, oh, it's like Paul. Like it just felt very familiar that way. I was like, it's like
it feels just like Paul's, doesn't it?
It's like if you mixed Paul's with, at the time I said Five Guys, because that idea of like two patties kind of jammed together. But that was how I was like explaining it in my head.
Sure.
Like the size of Paul, because they're pretty big, like circumference wise, or what a diameter.
Right. So radius. The radius.
Radius.
That's from the middle out. All that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Diameter, I think you're looking for. But hold on. So about 8 years ago, no, more than 8 years ago. So about let's say 10 years ago, I worked for a company where I traveled to Dallas a lot, and one of the best times of my life was when you're getting off the plane there at Love Field, knowing full well there's a Whataburger there, and you're like,
I can't eat Whataburger here. Like that's my Texas thing. That's my Oklahoma, Texas. I can't eat it here. I won't. That's.
Well, I know when they first started opening here in town, they weren't quite up to par with what Texas had. Like the menus weren't to full, 100%, and it took them a while to get their stuff together. But I think they're kind of on a roll now.
I think it's well established now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I told myself, because it's like right next to McDonald's, like where me and Rudy live. It's just down the street, just a little bit further from McDonald's. I remember thinking like, I will never go to McDonald's now. Like every time I want McDonald's, why wouldn't I just go to Whataburger instead? I mean, maybe it's a little bit more, but price wise, but it's better. It's what I want. But I'm actually disappointed in myself how infrequently I go there. I thought I'd be there all the time, keeping them in business. And
but that's like with McDonald's and Burger King. Like I'll go on some streaks where I never go to Burger King. I don't care for their fries, whatever. But when you eat that Whopper, just with everything on, don't make any Whopper with cheese. It all comes back. Whopper with cheese is probably top 3 fast food sandwiches.
Is it that flame broiled? Like there's something about the fact that the burger
maybe
quality.
I don't know about top 3. I don't know about top 3 sandwiches, but it would be high.
The mayonnaise, the sesame seeds, it all comes together. And
even the onions and the tomato. Oh my god, I'm getting sweaty.
Oh, I better have some Andes before I get too hungry.
And then a double Whopper on top of that is.
So, okay, what are your Mount Rushmore burgers?
Hold on. Before we do this, going back to Paul's, I wonder if now they will, now that they're reopening, you think they'll step up with the times and, like create an app or something? Wouldn't that be amazing? Because before, like you said, Mom would have to call when she was coming through downtown.
Bro, they're not even going to wash their hands. They ain't going to have an app.
They're not even going to clean the grill.
No,
I'll
it's
ne-
the same
I'll never
grill.
s-
It's been sitting there for 4 years. They haven't cleaned it yet. They're just
They
gonna
have
fire
to
it
have
up.
the same bullhorns where you test your strength in the
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Part of the experience of going to Paul's was when you would go, was the games in the little, I wouldn't even call it a lobby, a little that little area
Order
that
area.
The window, the
ordering
order
area.
window.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah,
pinball
so-
machine. None of the games had ever been played ever, covered in like layers of
Dust.
dust. And
love it.
yeah,
Love it.
Not a place you would actually think would have some good food, but it did. What I couldn't get over though was I enjoyed it, and then after I finished my Paul's, I would for hours later continue burping it, and then I was like, yeah, this is not as good as
Get to keep. I disagree. You get to keep enjoying it. For hours.
Yeah, see, I don't want to continue to enjoy the aftertaste.
You guys were talking earlier about getting sad when you're almost done with food. Paul's would be that for me.
yes, for
I would
sure.
inhale the burger and I was like, oh man, I just finished that off. I better take it easy on the fries and
Hey,
enjoy this.
maybe we'll look into getting a Paul's sponsorship. Wouldn't that be cool if we could have like burgers for life?
Paul's Jr. now. is what they're
Paul's
called.
Excuse me,
Jr.
Paul's Jr. That's the new name. We found out this
So-
week. It's gonna
So
be
I
called
would put them. I would put them in the George Washington spot on my Mount Rushmore of burgers.
I think I would as
Um,
well.
Who else
Paul's
would
is
you include?
I got to put Five
So-
Guys up there.
I would say
So
Five
what?
Guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are the parameters here? Does it include chains? Is it like just local
Anybody.
stuff or anything?
Any
right?
burger you've ever had.
Well, to me, a Whopper is going to be on there. Whopper with cheese, Paul's Burger, and you've already said Five Guys. What I would add to that, I mean, I'm a double quarter pounder guy. Have you guys had the double Big Mac?
Isn't it already by definition a double?
Are there four
But
pieces
now?
now?
A double Big Mac has 4 pieces of meat.
Ooh,
It's crazy.
I had
How
one
many
the other
pieces of
day.
bread? Is it
3
six now?
pieces of bread still. No, still 3 pieces of bread. But so it's bread, meat, bread, meat, bread.
Jesus.
I had one the other day. Now the meats aren't that big.
Yeah.
They're
They're
kind of
tiny.
small, but
So they're
And
not
if you thought-
Arby's. They don't have the meats.
they don't have the meats. But if you thought a Whopper,
I'm gonna run a train on these chicken fingers. I'm just gonna be like, yum, 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 yum.
I was gonna run a train on that Big Mac, that double Big Mac. But yeah, double Big Mac was off the charts, messy and sloppy. And I'm trying to
Was
eat
it-
car
so it was
from
good.
at work. It was good. Yes, it was very good. But,
can we guess at the price of a double Big Mac? I mean, does anybody know
trying to think of what it was.
with
I can
what
look on my app
with
real quick.
what fast food costs these days?
$9.75. I don't know.
guess
I've not been to McDonald's in
I guess $8.25.
I was gonna say $9.75.
I feel like
Probably
I
about
feel like it
$9.
was in the eight. I feel like it was in the $8 range. I'm pulling up my McDonald's app right now.
Jesus, somebody posted on Facebook like an old ad for McDonald's back when the value meals were like 3 something. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, there is you got to look this up online somewhere, but there is a McDonald's from the 90s. It's on like a military base or something that's been abandoned or something. There's like nobody there anymore. So the McDonald's that's there is like it's frozen in time. Like it's not operational anymore, but it's like still all the 90s decor and all this.
Mhm.
The
Not fully
90s,
operational.
yeah, like they have pictures of the drive-through menu, and you can see the Jurassic Park toys that they're still advertising.
So they
really cool.
preserved it just to be able to.
I don't even know if it's just still there. I don't know they never.
Okay, so they're not
knocked it down or
actively
anything.
keeping it together. It's
No,
just,
I don't think it's
It's like a
open. Like you
museum.
can't even go in. But it's yeah.
I don't know. The double Big Mac just popped up on my app one night, and I ordered it. It's not there now, so it's
our phones don't
limited
listen
time
to us.
only.
I
I
truly
wanted
believe
to
that.
try the chicken Big Mac. I thought that might
I
be
truly
interesting.
believe that food
Yeah.
can solve the world's problems.
I'm freaking hungry, dude.
Dude, do you remember?
Well,
I don't want to
food
get
is
into.
one of the
I don't wanna-
world's
I'm gonna
problems.
when we're done here, I'm gonna go upstairs and have a Chip Ahoy.
Do you remember Jamie and I were?
Oh, my ice cream's melting.
This was I don't even know how many years ago this was, but anyway, Jamie and I were sideways with one another, and we were kind of angry. We weren't talking with each other. Do you remember how we broke the peace we shared a meal at Rudy's
by
tonight.
being gay.
Oh.
Remember? So that's what I say. Food brings the world together.
It's the ultimate peacemaker.
Yes.
What were you
See, I wanna
guys
say-
fighting
No,
about?
I didn't see. I didn't want to go there.
No,
That wasn't-
what were you guys
No,
fighting
that
about?
wasn't the point. The point was we
Now,
got over our differences over food.
Little babies all grows up.
So Mount Rushmore. So I gotta say, okay, for the Whopper's on there, I think
Mhm.
Whopper's on
Paul's-
there for. I almost
Paul's
I would
double.
probably put Whopper in the George Washington spot. Whopper is
Yeah.
to me it's top sandwich.
I haven't had a
Yeah,
Whopper.
you
in
can
like
make an
20
argument.
decades.
Why though? I think because the combination of size, of the condiments, the meat, that like because I mean you talk meat, you go
It
you go to
hasn't-
any McDonald's sandwich and it's like paper thin.
Mhm.
But
My thing
you
is
know,
it hasn't changed over the years. Like
that too, yeah.
a Wendy's
Consistent.
Baconator or a Hardee's Monster
Wendy's.
Burger.
Wendy's is
Try
good.
them. They're not the
Baconator.
same as they used to be. They're not the same as they used
The
to be.
Monster Burger, they still have those.
They if you can find a Hardee's, there's a Monster
Yeah,
Burger,
they're not even
and
Hardee's around.
it's not like they used to have 8 strips of bacon on it, and
Mhm.
Inflation.
it's not the same. It's not the same. And
Shrinkflation.
neither is the Baconator. I've been truly disappointed the last probably 3 times I've been to Wendy's. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it one more time because Macy wants a Frosty or something. I'm like, all right, let's try it one more time. I end up spending like $20 and the food is crap. Like it's small and it doesn't taste right.
like
and,
Wendy's.
so,
That's what she said.
I don't know.
I like Wendy's, but I haven't had it in a while, so maybe I can't speak to that. I bet it has gone down.
See, Wendy's is the place I go when I'm out somewhere and I just have to eat something because I know I can go there and just get a junior bacon cheeseburger for like $1.
Their
And,
4 for 4s. Their 4 for 4s saved me when I was broke.
Yeah,
So
I
that
haven't
I
eaten
get it.
Burger King or McDonald's in 15 years. Neither one of them.
now McDonald's that app. So
Culver's is good.
Culver's is good, but
Culver's,
McDonald's
that's Culver's.
has that $5 meal where you get a double cheeseburger, a small fry, small drink, and chicken nuggets for $5, and it's pretty solid. But I used to on the app, you would get a free fry, just free fry. Just add the free fry if you purchase anything. So then I would have a medium fry, a small fry, a double cheeseburger, chicken nuggets, small drink for like
you?
$5, right?
For you?
Yeah, for me.
I can't imagine where your issues stem from.
So now they stopped giving away the free medium fry. You get a free medium fry if you purchase a drink. Well, the drinks aren't that expensive in any size drink, but all the drinks are the same price. So now I get a large Dr. Pepper, free medium fry, and then you just pick a sandwich. Like any sandwich of your choosing, it's still going to be cheaper than buying a meal. Like,
I admit of your choosing.
So
of your choo-
I haven't heard anybody mention what's your take on I haven't heard anybody mention Freddy's.
I'm
I'm a fan.
They're
fine, but
paper thin.
Go try they've got a new grilled cheese steak burger. Grilled
The
cheese
only
steak
reason
burger.
the only
solid.
reason what Freddy's is good is because you just put so much of that Freddy's sauce on it that it just makes you forget about there's no meat on there.
I don't like those fries because I don't like shoestring
Yeah.
fries because you got to grab 65 of them just to.
It's just Freddy sauce.
That's the blasphemy. Blasphemy.
My
Erroneous.
last spot-
Erroneous
my
on all accounts.
And
My
I'll
last spot
take
goes
here.
to the landing, the cheeseburgers at the landing because they're so thick. Here in Liberty, the landing, they're huge cheeseburgers.
And I'd say my third spot, I guess for me would be BRGR, the jalapeno popper. I'm gonna have to take a picture. and
Andrew,
show
I
you
got to
guys.
go with the Whopper and Paul's, but then Danny's Burger Shack is right in there.
Yeah, see,
Danny's
that's-
Burger Shack on North Oak is
4 spots is not enough because I got Paul's and the Whopper. I think Whataburger's probably got to be in there somewhere. So then that leaves 1 spot for you guys said Five Guys. I love Brahms. Nobody's mentioned that.
Yes.
Yeah, I get the
I love
$5 or the sack of burgers or whatever. You
Yeah.
get like 5 burgers. For
But
$5.
Andrew, I
Those are
think
good.
Sack of
Andrew, I
burgers.
think-
Sack of burgers. We didn't even say White Castle.
Oh shit! Shoot.
so.
It's more
Andrew, I think
novelty,
where you're
though.
going, wrong is Paul's and Whataburger that we've discussed. This is pretty much the same burger.
Same.
Yeah, I get it.
So you got to cut one
Save
of those
yourself a
out to
spot.
give you another spot. Yeah.
I second your Brahms there, though. That's really good. You guys has anybody tried Spangles? That's down kind of in the Emporia, Wichita area.
Never heard of it.
Spangles.
Egon?
Close.
Egon Spangles.
Very good.
Smalls is opening up on 7 Highway in Blue Springs. Anybody know
Salt
anything about
sliders?
that? Yeah.
They're opening
Never
one of
heard of
those in Wichita too. I might try that next time I'm there.
Yeah. I hear that it's Drew Brees' like chain. Like he's behind him or something. I don't know. But
Oh, my tripas.
yeah.
You know, yeah, I'm hungry too. What time is it? 11:30. Is any burger place still open?
Whataburger, 24 hours.
I wonder
Yes,
if,
you get delicious concrete.
Paul's Jr. will have DoorDash.
I wonder.
So, do we have an opening date for Paul's Jr.?
That's what I was going to ask you guys. Then you guys got on a tangent about.
I don't know.
Yeah. I wanted to say a long time ago, because we got on a tangent when we started talking about Paul's. Jamie, you mentioned, because we were calling you cheap again, and you said, I bought my kids popcorn. But I don't know. Were we on the air when you talked about how you told her to go find a water fountain when she said she was thirsty?
I think so, yeah.
I don't remember.
Were we on the air? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yes, I'm cheap. What do you want from me?
Who cares? Who cares?
Guys, I gotta go find a snack now. You all this talk about burgers and food.
I'm gonna get a tall cold glass of milk with a chip ahoy.
Oh, that's so funny. I went to the bathroom. So after Andrew's kids' party the other day, we went over to me and Jamie and mom and dad went over to Rudy's house just to kill some time. And
with all the bees.
And I walked in to go to the bathroom, and there's Macy in your living room. She had a what was it? The Oreo, and she was dipping it in milk. And I was like,
was she
"Dang, that
really?
looks good."
She didn't
Looks
even
good.
ask. Not that she has to, but yeah. Solid. I've taught her well. That's like my Yoda.
Well, boys.
Yeah. So
What
since
else we got?
let's start to wrap it up here. I was going to mention, as you see under my name there, father of a kindergartner.
Oh yeah.
Vanessa signed her letter of intent today.
I told you, Jamie. She's now a pirate. I couldn't remember the first
Wait a
name.
minute. She's going to Platte County?
Yep.
You guys are in the Platte County School District?
Yeah, we live in Clay, but it's Platte School District. This is
You know
right
what?
Whoops.
Shout out to I don't know if anybody here listens to Chiquito Pero Picoso, but my last guest, my last guest, Christian Alaya, he was talking about how he lived off Berry Road and he went to Platte County, and it just blew my mind. I didn't realize, because I used to drive by Platte County High School when I worked out at the Holiday Distillery, and it just seems like it's out there. So will she be going to Platte County High School?
Yeah, I'm hoping though between now and what is that, like 10 years or whatever since she goes to high school, that they'll build another high school, because right where that elementary school that she's going to go to is right there off of 169 and Platte Purchase. Not 169, 152 in Platte Purchase, right by Costco.
It's huge, isn't it?
It's pretty big, yeah. And it looks like they're building something else right next to it, which I think might be a middle school.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking maybe then a high school, hopefully. Because, yeah, we are, like I said, we're in Clay County, so all the Platte stuff is pretty far out there for us. But
I gotta see that picture again. She's
right down the street.
Looks like a Honey I Shrunk the Kids thing going on here.
I was going to say, my question is, does the pencil actually work?
I don't know. I think all the kids that go here have had strokes lately.
They're doing that.
So she's a pirate.
They're doing that at Pee-wee's house. That looks like a Pee-wee Herman pencil. But wow, she's going to be a pirate.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Class of 2038, which I always kind of jokingly said that since she was born, but seeing it on paperwork and stuff was kind of funny.
Yeah, that's wild.
Congratulations.
So here's the other thing. You guys would hate me. I would be the parent that you guys would all be rolling your eyes at. But when we were
we already hate you. We already hate you. Go ahead.
When we were at the kindergarten roundup tonight, we are in the library and they're giving like a presentation to all the parents. The kids are in the classrooms meeting all the teachers and blah blah blah. But we have Nathan with us. And he is it's the end of a long day. He didn't have a good day at school, like where he was all, getting into fights and stuff, or, just having issues. So he was wound up. We're there, and like the presentation that they're giving us, you'd think like the principal would be talking more, or maybe some more school, officials would be talking more. They had the kids doing this presentation. So you'd have like a little fifth grader or something, reading off of a slide, all this kind of stuff. So they're just kind of talking like this, and it's very low, and and I can't hear anything. But Nathan is in the back just going, he had a little dinosaur toy, just like, Dino, like just yelling, like as loud. And then I look back and she's like, Dino, Daddy, Dino, like just yelling so loud. And then he was like talking to other parents that were there, because we were in a library, so he's like seeing all the books and all the stuff. He's like, Tiger, just like yelling so loud.
Supposed to be quiet in a library.
Yeah, and also like parents are getting important information.
I was going to say that's the thing I'm hung up on. That's the thing I'm hung up on is they get all these parents there, have this very important information to share, and they get the kids with the lowest volume voice.
And wait, hold on. Let's go back to Nathan screaming. So the best parental tactic you had was shh.
Because, I don't want to make a scene too, because again, everyone's listening, and I'm just trying to.
No, so you grab him by the arm, twist it a little bit when you're dragging him out, and then you let him know, and then he'll start screaming out in the hallway, and then all the parents are
two options.
Ooh.
Two options. You grab him under the arm, pinch him, and then when they start screaming, like, "Oh, are you okay?" And then so they know you mean business, but then the other parents see you like, "Oh, he must have hurt himself," or you say. Look, Nathan, you can either be quiet or I can whip you and then you be quiet. Which one? You choose. Which one?
The problem with it is that when I look back at him, I immediately start laughing because he's like, there's other kids there too. Like, not like kids from the school, but like, so they also had like the choir, like the 4th and 5th grade choir come in and sing a song. So like there were some parents and siblings that were back there with them, that were just there that weren't. Anyway, Nathan's sitting back there with them, and he's like right in their faces, like I said, he had his blue dinosaur, and he's just like Dino, like getting in all these kids' faces and stuff. So I turn around and I just start laughing. Like it's hard to really, discipline. He's making me laugh.
I'm Team Nathan on this one. I mean, once Corey gets up there and starts rambling on about
when you say there's a choir there, I mean, they're trying to make this is it wasn't memorable when your kid, it's kindergarten roundup. Your kid's going to kindergarten. We're trying to make this a night. We want it to be memorable. I know, but now things are more like, hey, let's make a big deal about it.
Well, that being said,
she signed her letter of intent. That's impressive. She can't even sign her name yet, but she signed a letter of intent.
Yeah.
I would have went nuts. on where's this kid's parents? Like I would have. Yeah.
That kid is back on the escalator.
In the right. But yeah, he just because I'll look back at him and he'll just like look at me like just give me a smile, and I'll just.
That's the kid that's being loud and unruly. And then if he fell and hurt himself and started crying, I'd start laughing at that. Yeah. I mean,
you root for him to fall.
Yes, I want that kid to fall or hit himself, walk into a door or something. Yeah, 100%. So, well, congratulations to Vanessa, though.
Yeah.
She's a pirate.
I laugh.
Pirates.
I do laugh when you said Nathan had a bad day at school. What? I've seen them finger paintings. They wasn't.
That's why it's not a blue dinosaur.
Yeah,
I wanted to see a blue dinosaur.
The kid can shit his pants and eat crackers and milk all day. Like what? How do you have a bad day out of that?
Well, he's taking toys from his classmates and from his friends.
He shows him his boss. He's showing that he's the alpha of the class.
It's true.
Wow. Nate Dog.
Well, good.
Hey, guys, an hour and a half ago, we thought we had nothing to talk about.
Do we have a quick?
We didn't even get to the we don't have anything to talk about because we just hit record immediately. Like normally we're sitting around saying, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about?
I kind of think that's the way to go.
I kind of think anytime we don't have anything to talk about, if we just talk about food, we end up getting an hour out of it.
Yeah. I think you were alluding to a quit acting stupid winner. We didn't talk about this. Again, see, this is a problem. We didn't talk about this before we start. But I got to say, the funniest thing I saw this week was J.D. Vance breaking the championship trophy. Anybody see that?
He gets that one. Yes. He gets. Go ahead and explain it. Go ahead.
Yeah, the White House was having, what is it? Was it Ohio State football? That's who was there.
Yeah.
National champions came to the White House, and all I saw was the clip of JD Vance trying to pick up the trophy, and the guys were helping him. So I don't know if I can blame it all on him, because the trophy just basically broke right in the middle. Like the top half fell off, and the bottom fell down on the floor completely.
Who knew it wasn't soldered?
Yeah, I don't know if I could put the whole blame on him, but it is hilarious that the vice president broke and dropped the national championship trophy.
I love all the still photos that have come out. You know, the facial expressions and
Well, I got
I gotta quit acting stupid too. But go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna do. I found a clip of the week, since I don't think we talked about that either. And did anybody have anything? Because I got one.
No, I don't have a clip of the week, but quit acting stupid as well. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. So the Minecraft movie is out. And
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet. That's one movie that Macy will go see. So if she hasn't seen it yet, I assume we'll go see it at some point. But apparently there's a scene in there. I still don't understand it. Where kids
are stupid.
They say the word chicken jockey, I guess, and the whole crowd goes nuts. Here, I got a clip.
I didn't get that. Yeah, play it.
Let me play this real quick. It's the crowd reaction. Hold on.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
yeah. I just don't understand.
Now they're making parents go with kids or something.
All right, let me know if you have this up.
Full screen if you can.
All right. That's as full as it gets because it's
all
right.
All I can think of is how much that popcorn must cost. That the kids just throw it. Like it's. He must have had 3 refills.
That kid had a real chicken. It was a live chicken.
Somebody I saw it said real chicken in the theater.
And literally, I saw that and I've seen this reported on the news, and all I can think of is just quit acting stupid. Like what idiots?
So what is so?
I can't help you understand. I have no idea. I've been asking Macy.
Apparently, it's a rare thing. It's a rare thing in the game or something, and so they make a big deal out of it when they see it or something. I don't know. But Rudy, you mentioned how you were talking about how much you hate people or whatever earlier, and I'm like, this is why. This is why clips like that just
no concern with people that have to clean that up. Like I don't know. It's insane. I saw that and I just thought, quit acting stupid. Yeah. There was something else. I sent you guys a video during the week. I think it was on Facebook, all 3 of you. And I just said, quit acting stupid. And whatever it was, maybe we'll save it for next week.
Oh, I think it was something I saw, but I'm trying to remember.
I remember just seeing the video. And again, I thought to myself, quit acting stupid. Like,
and the thing about that video is that felt very planned. Like,
staged,
staged for someone to be filming it at that exact moment in the movie and to capture everyone simultaneously doing the same.
And does it it's got to happen like towards the middle or the end of the movie? Did you keep the chicken quiet the whole time? How did you get a chicken? I can't even sneak like candy into the movie theater, and you're taking a whole chicken? Like
Bobby just said he snuck alcohol in, so
it's not that hard.
I will say Miranda's mom, and I probably said this on the podcast before, Miranda's mom snuck in a sample platter from Fazoli's into the AMC.
You did say
that before.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he said that before.
We've definitely taken some Jimmy John's sandwiches in.
Jeez.
Well, I saw our cousin Lala at Cinemark. Shout out to Lala, but I'm putting you on blast. She had some Rosedale barbecue fries, sandwich. She was eating. The whole family was there. Dang, Lala.
That's a pro.
Make sure you tag her in this thing.
Yeah.
Jamie, do you have a clip?
I just found it while we were, because I was thinking while we were shooting this, I was like, I don't think we have a clip. So anyway, whenever we don't have a clip, I go to the old fail safe.
I'm worried.
Rafi to come save us.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm also mad because I wasn't invited to dinner either.
Rafi, it was a couple's dinner.
So I could have brought my very serious girlfriend. What? You guys not met Margaret?
Oh my God.
It's very serious.
But is it consensual?
This was. This wasn't. Oh God.
What's up? I'll go in the
We
room.
talked about it afterwards, and she said it felt good. They love
Sorry.
Rafi.
Yeah.
Very good.
Rafi will always pull us out if we need a clip.
I
But
did
anyway.
like how Jamie said, I found this clip while we were shooting, as if we're on location somewhere shooting an epic trilogy of some massive proportion.
We're gonna run out of film.
Good to know he's paying attention to everything we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is boring. I'm gonna go look on YouTube. No, so real quick, if we wanted to do recommendations, I just started the show called Them. And have any of you heard of it? It's on Amazon Prime. It's like it's kind of like Fargo, where they have like different seasons, but they're like the seasons. Whatever that was, where they had nothing to do with each other. They're just different. Yeah. Anyway, so I just started it, and it is freaking. I think I've gotten through maybe one episode, and it's like the most intense, freaky, scary. I don't know what it is, but it's like. It's like hardcore, like 1950s racist, black couple moves into a white neighborhood, and like
I can tell why you like it.
You have that creepy, like uncomfortable racist, thing going on, but then there's also like this supernatural thing going, where it's just like, yeah, it freaks me out, man. It's good stuff. Again, I'm only like an episode through into it, but yeah, worth checking out. I'll keep you posted if you guys care.
Very good.
Interesting. I'm looking for the I'm a nerd drop, but I can't find it. Anyway,
how's that nerdy?
So when you said supernatural, I immediately thought dork. You dork. Although I watched Daredevil and so,
yeah, the superhero movies. So
yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, I just started season 2 of what's the show?
White Lotus.
No. I'm still on. I just finished episode 1 of that of season 1. No, The Last of Us. The Last of Us. So that's
yeah, I need to catch up. I need to get on that.
Yeah, season 2 just started. I saw episode 1. I don't know if that's all that's out, but episode 1 was pretty good. Jump back in. I had to remember kind of how it ended last. Maybe go back and watch that because it's been a while since that's been on. But they catch you up.
Find more of us.
Nope, yes. Actually, they did find more of us. So
well, I used to watch it back when it was called The Walking Dead.
I watched like 2 or 3 episodes of Walking Dead. Never got through it. So, but I see what you're doing.
I just always thought a show that I used to love was The Last Man on Earth with Will Forte. But he's only the last man in the very first episode. Then the whole show is him finding more people.
Right. So, that was a good show, though.
That was a great
show.
No, nothing new. I fell asleep all this weekend. We're starting season 3 of White Lotus, but we haven't made it very far.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a few episodes to get going.
I haven't finished anything, but I started watching. There's a documentary on Disney Plus about a Goofy movie. This is more for millennials. You guys are too old and your kids are probably too young. But that movie came out like right in the middle of like the Aladdin, Lion King kind of renaissance. But it kind of just like a forgotten gem, I think. It had good music. Tevin Campbell, what group was he in?
He wasn't in a group.
He was a solo? Okay. Because he voices like the main pop star in the movie and has some really catchy songs. And but anyway, there's a documentary about it, and I started watching it. It was at first I was like, this documentary is taking itself a little too seriously, but it was kind of cool to see, to hear some of the stories they were talking about from that era.
Did you think it should be more goofy?
I just kind of want to, there's so many like, I get what you're saying there. There's so many questions I have though, about like the making of it that I kind of want, I wanted to get to that. I wanted to get to that stuff faster, and it's just kind of slowly telling the story of it. What I will say is that
Goofy's the dog.
I don't know. That's a question that we always talk about here because Goofy's a dog, but also Pluto's a dog, and Pluto's like
Goofy drives a car, and no, I don't think Goofy is. I think he's just Goofy.
But one thing I will say, just in the beginning, probably Sorry, this just died. But if you can still hear me, one thing I like about it is that they talk about how all those movies were all very fantasy driven, and then like this movie is like they were trying to make like a John Hughes Disney movie, animated Disney movie. So that's why it's like very road trippy.
Let me ask you. I've never seen it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you?
I don't know why this died briefly, but yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I've never seen that movie. So let me ask: is it something that like I could watch now and see? I'm not saying enjoy it. It's still a kids movie, but like, could I see the good movie in it? Like, would I be able to watch it and get some kind of? Yeah, this
I
is
think
good.
so. I think so. Yeah, it's very dated. Because like Pauly Shore is in it, and there's a character like he voices one of the friends in the school, and you could just tell it's like animated and written to be like Pauly Shore, just an animated version of Pauly Shore. So you could feel like it's very, it's very Weasel. It's a very Weasel character.
Yeah,
but I think so. I think the good stuff still holds up.
Okay.
Although a lot of it is nostalgia for me, I will say that. Go ahead.
Sure.
So you mentioned John Hughes. I wanted to pivot. Did you guys see that this week they brought the 5 members of the Breakfast Club back together? First time in 40 years, all 5 of them were together.
Did they say why? I mean, it was a 40th anniversary, but
40th anniversary. I don't remember where it was or why they brought them all together, but it was.
I mean, I heard
them all together.
I heard Emilio Estevez say, the 40th anniversary. He's like, I felt it was time. Like, I feel like he was the one holding them all back because. If you watch the documentary on the
Brat Pack,
the Brat Pack, yeah, he was very. You could tell he's the one that's kind of like I don't want to talk about any of that stuff. I don't want to
see. I was going to say the opposite. I mean, he is like that. I think they're all like that to a certain extent. But I mean, Emilio Estevez is in the documentary. Molly Ringwald and especially Judd Nelson like did not want to talk about it at all. Like they were so like far, like we moved past it. There's no good in dwelling on the old stuff. Like you could tell there's a lot of hurt feelings or like, some bad mojo around that group and whatnot.
Yeah. So I wonder what brought them all together. Other than the 40th anniversary, like why, I don't know. Emilio Estevez made it sound like
they all, except for Emilio Estevez, they all looked pretty old. I mean, they all looked.
Yeah, he looks old too, but he still looks like his face almost exactly, just a little thicker maybe. Yeah. All the other ones have changed quite a bit.
Yeah,
Ali Sheedy was in a good show that I was watching. I think they got about 2 seasons. It's called never mind. This is a bad story. No, it was about a girl. She was playing this girl's mom, and this girl was like an alcohol abuser. And she, God dang it.
It does sound
I can't think of the name. Yeah. And she was staying sober and it was her struggle to stay sober. But anyways, Ali Sheedy was her mom. So yeah.
Meandering.
Solid.
All right.
Well,
are you an Ali Sheedy fan or a Molly Ringwald? Like as far as like the girls of the Breakfast Club, were you more of
Molly Ringwald? Molly Ringwald for sure.
Yeah. Claire. Okay. The prissy one.
What?
All right.
The prissy one.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Good God.
Prissy. All right. Prissy.
Like, did I miss that scene? What? Okay.
All right, bring us home, Bob.
All right, for my brothers Jamie, Andy, and Rudy. Until next time, I'm Bobby D. saying, and LeBron James. I keep forgetting LeBron James. Quit acting stupid.
Not to get into too much troubles, okay?